stuff is out there. He's 5'10", no Gronk to draw anything. Jacksonville's secondary is long, nasty, athletic. Amendola's going to get separation from those guys? What? But they talk about how they throw that pass to Amendola when practice is over religiously after practice. High in the end zone. Why? Because if it's deflected in the back of the end zone, it's going to go out of bounds. No chance for interception. Same reason they throw low at the front of the end zone. But the difference with the Patriots are they diligently practice that crap and they take it seriously. So there's so much there. You don't have to love them like I do, because I do. And I'm nervous, very nervous going into the Super Bowl, because Philadelphia is extremely connected. And they're connected even by a greater power. Think about let's bounce around. We're all over the map on this deal. Faith versus fear. Let's just talk about this quickly. Because I think fear of failure is one of the things that cripples all of us who are aspirational. We've got dreams, we've got goals, we want to do something, but the opinions of others, in fact, we're all born with a growth mindset. You guys have probably all heard growth fixed. There's a book, Carol Dweck or something like that, some famous psychologist or whatever. It's like that thick, so I didn't touch it, but I know she's like Stanford, she's really good and all that stuff. It's just, I can't get through those. My books have got to be like this. That's my book. Growth, we're all born with a growth mindset, where anything's achievable, anything's possible. Fear is not something we're born with. When you learn to walk, you get on all fours, you're bouncing around your parents' living room, you stand up, you wobble a little bit, somebody outstretches some arms, and you try to take a step and you fall. And you bam, you hit your head on the side of the table, you bounce up and you try it again. And one step becomes two. You're not looking over your shoulder when you're 9 months old. It's like, oh my gosh, hope someone didn't see me. That's so embarrassing. That stuff doesn't get into it. You just keep going. Fear doesn't get in the way. When you learn to ride a bike, it's the same thing. Training wheels come off, you probably fell once. You probably scraped your knee or did something. But you just got back on and kept going. That fear of failure, though, faith versus fear. Think about faith and fear. Because no matter what you do, it's always a conflict between those two. And there are degrees, depending on what you are. If you're really sharp in math and you're really great at it, you probably don't walk in your math class with a lot of fear. If you're not so good, you do. But there are degrees, and you have choices to make in this stuff. Faith and fear both believe in what? A future that is yet unknown. Both faith and fear share that in common. They both believe in a future that has not happened yet. So why not choose faith? A great acronym for fear, if you deal with this in anything, I really would like to be a college football player, basketball player, whatever it is, but I don't know if I can do it. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real, and it is false evidence. As we go from this growth mindset when we're young, the world chips away at that growth mindset. The opinions of others who maybe don't aspire to be great like we do get in our way. Sometimes even family and friends. They don't want to see you hurt or let down when you don't make that squad or make that team. So they tell you to pump the brakes and just play it safe. Sometimes they can be the worst. But faith, without faith in your future, there's no power in your present. If you don't believe that this team is destined for greatness, maybe to do something that hasn't been done in a quarter of a century, if you don't believe individually that you're destined for greatness, you were created with a growth mindset, and gosh darn it, you're going to make sure you don't fall prey to that fixed mindset that the world wants to send you in, because the world's negative, it's cynical, the opinions of others get in the way. Tell me what lion ever is going to bother with the opinion of a sheep? And aren't we all aspiring, sorry about the pun, Deborah, but aren't we all aspiring to be that king of the jungle? We want to be that lion? They don't deal with the opinion of sheep. So don't deal with the little people. Choose faith over fear. But without faith in your future, there is absolutely zero power in your present. I won't work as hard. I won't overcome adversity. I won't stay strong to the temptations on the Friday and Saturday nights. All that stuff. Going back to Tom Brady, he believes. It's why no red meat. It's why no sugar. It's why no alcohol. It's why only purified water with crazy electrolytes. It's why he's in bed at 8:30 every night during the season. There are some sacrifices that guy makes. We just see the finished product on Sunday. We don't realize all the unbelievable discipline. But if he didn't have faith that there was a payoff to all that, he wasn't going to do it. So it starts, we're back to character again. You got to believe on the inside. You know, Dabo Sweeney, you know, Clemson, their rags to riches, outhouse to penthouse story is remarkable. National championship 2 years ago, Final Four this year. Don't ever call us a bunch of overachievers. He really does not like that. We're a bunch of over-believers. Belief, faith. You choose faith over fear. And when you understand they both believe in an uncertain future, why in the world would you choose fear and let that cripple, derail, distract, paralyze you? Because it can. I don't know, I don't know, you guys aren't that old, but you probably involved yourself in something where you didn't give it a shot or didn't go all in. Brady's all freaking in. He is all in. All in. I mean, there is nothing else but family and football to him. That is it. That's it. He's not interested in doing a bunch of other crap. It's family football, all in, because he believes. Limiting beliefs. If you limit your beliefs, it will become your kryptonite. It goes so much back to belief. Obstacles, really quickly, because we got to get you out of here. Obstacles. We know they're going to come your way. The more success you achieve, and I guess this is relevant for you guys, because right now, at least on the varsity level, we're doing something. I hate to say we, but it's so fun being a part of a team for 15 minutes or so. It's been a long time. I think you guys are doing something that no Boise team's done in quite a while, correct? Okay, you're on the path. So, the more success you achieve, obviously that target on your back gets bigger, brighter, bolder. We've gone from hunter to hunted. There's no question about it. Eagles not doing anything. But let's not kid ourselves. Their banquet just got better if they beat Boise tomorrow night, correct? That's about what they've got to play for. Now, there's no way that's going to happen because we understand we're back to character. Without character being one of your primary tenets to the program, you're susceptible to that. And that's why you have teams like Jacksonville. How about Minnesota? How about New Orleans? Let's go to New Orleans. We're talking football. Marcus Williams, do we know that name? Yes. We've seen it. There's not enough time. All he has to do is see what you hit. He's probably been taught that since he was that big. See what you hit, wrap up, keep him in bounds. Are you kidding me? Would that mistake happen at Alabama or New England? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's not a put down to whoever's coaching in New Orleans or Marcus Williams. That's just a compliment because at New England, there's a culture in place. And you do what you're told to do. What does Bill Belichick? Just do your job. We don't need you to do anything but your job. Do your job. Everybody's got roles on each team. I'm sure your coaches have done a great job being very specific. Trevor, this is what we need you to do. And for coaches, they don't need you to do stuff outside your role because they need to be able to trust game in and game out. Because we're on a journey to do what you do. So you accept your role, you stay in your role, and you star in your role. That's how great teams are made. That's how programs are built. That's how excellence is sustained. A coach doesn't want, maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt coaches retire at the end of this year. I think he wants to see this go on forever. And you sustain excellence by getting guys to simply do your job. Now in the off season, if you didn't like your role, then go get in the gym and work to get out of it. But right now, whatever role you have, if that's to be the best screener in the conference, then do that. But star in that role. And love starring in that role because you're elevating that of others. You're serving. Virginia, if you watch them play, they held Clemson to how many points the other night? Come on, guys, it's basketball season. You've got to get points. I'm out of the loop and I know that. 36? 36, nice job. Wow. They held Clemson, who's ranked, to 36 points. 62-36. And Virginia actually is not holding the ball like they used to. So they're still conservative, but not as bad. 36 points. And if you watch Clemson, they got athletes. They're good. They're 18th in the country. How connected do you have to be over the course of 40 minutes? And you talk about a team that understands the process. Down 10, up 30, tie game. It's all the same. It's just like New England. Did not Jacksonville have that game won? They had that won. But their big time was looking ahead. Think we're in the Super Bowl. We're that close. I can taste it. I can taste it. In New England, they just flatline. They just do their job. It's just a journey. Next play toughness. How many penalties New England have in that game?
0.
One penalty. One penalty. And don't even come at me with these conspiracy theories that, oh, it's raining, all this crap. That's ridiculous. They are coached and they do their job. We're back to character again. At most levels, teams don't win with some miracle four-quote shot at the buzzer. Most teams lose because they beat themselves. You just keep grinding and do what it is that you do, and I trust your guarding. That's. I wish I could have got down here earlier and seen, maybe you didn't do any today, I have no idea, but seen some really nice breakdown defensive drills. That's the fun part of the game, because that's where you really connect. And you can really love one another at the defensive end. And obviously we know that's a constant. And it is no fun. How does Virginia, with one McDonald's All-American, second ranked in the country, how? In that conference? Seriously? How? They are out-talented, if that's a word, every game. But what did John Chaney say? I'll choose hard work, you take talent. Hard work's broken talents, heart may unite. Back to driven. Obstacles are going to come your way. There's a book called Obstacle is the Way. Marcus Aurelius. Who knows who that is? Gosh. Do they not teach like world history and stuff like that anymore? How about Gladiator? You seen Gladiator? Well, that was the guy.
Yeah, good job.
He was like in 200 AD. And Marcus Aurelius has all sorts of famous quotes, but one of him is the impediment to the action advances the action. What stands in the way is the way. You have a target on your back. There are going to be obstacles somewhere. The flu bug, rolled ankle and warm up, they're going to have some adversity somewhere. The more you understand journey and focus on the journey, the process, not necessarily just we walk that close to that championship and get ahead of yourself, the more it's just day by day, minute by minute, do the right thing, love each other up, on and on, the easier you're not only going to deal with those obstacles, the great teams don't survive the adversity, they thrive from the adversity. They become stronger. Philadelphia scares me to death. And I love Carson Wentz. I love what he stands for as a human being. I love all his community service. He and Brady were the two in battling for MVP before he got hurt. And then that defense picked up the rest of that team until Nick Foles kind of got going. And they are not to be messed with now. The adversity made them stronger. The obstacle, what stands in your way, is the way. You yourself are going to have adversity in life if you haven't already. As you chase your dreams, this team is going to face it. If you haven't so far, you've had good fortune. But the more success you achieve, the more and harder people are coming after you, and you will have it. Maybe it's a bad call. Maybe 3 of our 5 starters get the third foul with 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. There's something coming your way. But the more connected you are, Virginia-like, Bama-like, Villanova-like, New England-like, not only do you survive it, you thrive from that. You become stronger from the adversity. If you haven't read that book, and I doubt you have, it's like that thick. Obstacle is the Way. Over all my years, I have nothing on anybody on you guys' just age, and therefore maybe experience, and I've seen just more. I'm telling you, we all heard the father of success is perseverance, where Angela Duckworth wrote that great book, Grit, which is the predictor of success far greater than any talent or aptitude or ability. It's funny how we keep coming back to character. So I'm hoping somebody in here says, you know what, I always thought I wanted to do this, but I wasn't big enough, or I wasn't fast enough, or I wasn't strong enough. BS to all that crap. Again, watch Amendola. Does he have any business even being on the field? I mean, come on, seriously? For that matter, Julian Edelman. I mean, Wes Welker. How do those guys do it in New England? But you can see that they recruit and sign character over even some freaks that are really, really, really good. Oh, we really got to close and get you guys out of here. Really quickly on humility. Humility, really quick. Humility is a funny word out there. All those programs out there have humility within their programs. All the ones we mentioned. And humility, when you think about it, most people think about it, oh, it's kind of like a wet noodle. And I know we guard in this program, and wet noodles don't guard very well. They're soft as warm butter, right? They just don't guard. So, humility is not meek, feeble. It's not thinking less.